Opening Vox channel. Establishing connection. Feed beginning in 3, 2, 1.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to, what is it, episode 3 now?
The Real Heresy Hours.
Okay, whatever that means. Of Real Heresy Hours. I just realized that's what you said. Anyway, yeah, we're on episode 3 now. No 2-week break this time.
I'm sorry. I've apologized profusely.
I know, and I just like rubbing salt in the wound. Anyway, so I'm your host as usual, Locust.
Same with me, I'm Void. What up? I know that I'm the reason that y'all are here. I'm just kidding.
Fuck you. And much like last time, and actually there's been a big change. Instead of playing Monster Hunter, Void is now playing Sekiro.
Yeah, and I'm trying not to die right now.
Swearing. Yeah, so expect a lot of swearing. Anyway, so we're just gonna go straight into the news. There wasn't a whole lot this week, actually. Like a lot of
I mean, if you're trying to call Thraka not news.
I mean, we didn't really hear about Thraka. We got teased Thraka. And look, we'll get to this later. Anyway, my point is,
lad. That's all I'm gonna say. Thraka is a thick lad.
Oh my gosh. Point is, this week we got a lot of hinting at Psychic Awakening. Apparently it's actually called Psychic Awakening. What's it called? Saga of the Beast. So it's Saga of the Beast. Now we didn't get a whole lot. Most of it just being hype for Thraka. They're hyping him so much.
I mean, Thraka's a big deal, especially if they're saying that he's the current strongest orc. Like, to top what the Beast did is ridiculous.
And apparently he, like, just from people who've been reading the lore in these articles, and from what I've seen is he very well might be a prime orc, and B, he very well might be at the beast level of size and influence. He very well might be there already. He might be stronger. We don't know. But what we did get, like, the first big thing we saw from him this week was we got a really good look at the Makari model, which we'll get to him later. But
Makari's a mad lad. I love him.
Yeah, we'll get to him later. But in the background, we actually can see Thraka, and he looks fucking massive. Like
he 100% went, in my opinion, I'm pretty sure that he went from, like, Lord of War to
HQ from
HQ to Lord of War.
Like he okay, so Makari, just from looking at him, he looks to be like at least the size of, like, maybe an Autark or something like that. Like he looks a decent, I mean, because of his banner. He looks a decent size. But just you can see Thraka in the background, he looks massive. Like, I'm calling this now. He's probably going to be close in size to, at least height-wise, to Mortarion. I'm calling it now. He's going to be around Mortarion size, because if he is massive, this big, and he's the size of the Beast, I think the Beast was, like, almost as tall or maybe bigger than Vulcan. So maybe don't call me.
No, the Beast was bigger than a Dreadnought.
Yeah, well, that's the Primarchs weren't that. The Primarchs were about the size of, like, Primarchs, I think, were smaller than Dreadnoughts.
They were smaller than Dreadnoughts. They were like 2 feet. They were like a couple feet taller than regular Marines.
Well, hold on. Let me look this up.
Because different. Not all of them were taller. Because I know that Magnus was actually taller than the Emperor.
Yeah, that one makes sense.
I mean, he is known as the Red Giant.
Yeah, but there's also the fact that excuse me, Alfarius Omegon or Omegadon, they were actually
Omegon, Alfarius. It's Alfarius and Omegon.
Alfarius and Omegon, they were actually tiny compared to their brothers.
Yeah.
They were actually, fun fact, I think they were about Space Marine size.
Because I know that, I think one of the shortest was Angron.
No, the shortest for sure were...
One of the shortest.
Yeah. Okay, so apparently, from what I'm seeing, generally the Primax were around 10 feet tall. Vulcan apparently was actually the tallest, being 14 or 11 feet.
Fucking big lad.
Yeah, he was 11 feet. And of course the Emperor Biggie. This is out of armor, by the way. So generally, Primarch's around 10 feet, and apparently the Emperor was 14 feet outside of his armor, and I think he got a couple extra feet because of the armor. I do know for sure that like Alfarius and Omegon were smaller. So, because remember that's their whole thing. That's why they could blend in so easily, right? Was because they would just dress like normal Marines. That way, no one could tell. And since all their legion looked the same, it's not like anyone could argue if someone's like, "I am Alfarius." Cool. We cannot tell if you are Alfarius or not because you look the same. Anyway, getting off topic. So, Makari looks to be, like I said, about the size of a Autark or something like that. So he might very well be just fucking massive, Gaskell. And I definitely know for a fact that the Primarchs were a little shorter than Dreadnoughts, because Dreadnoughts are massive. What else? What else? Yeah. And if the beast was bigger than Vulcan, or at least on comparable to him, we are probably going to get like we're probably going to get something in Mortarian size. Maybe not with all the small bits, because like Mortarian has a lot going on, but we're probably getting something that size, or at least close to Magnus.
I really wouldn't doubt that.
Like, because the thing is, like, if he's this big, they're probably going to want to make the model big to kind of like. I know the models aren't one for one, but they probably want to make it like illustrate he's massive. So they're going to want to make a massive model. So we got a lot of hype about him. Then we actually got Makari actually has rules. He's not just a fancy grot. And he's actually slightly terrifying.
It's whack what they do with him. I love it.
Yeah, so first off, let's actually explain the lore. Last episode I mentioned I thought he died because he got stuck on the fence or something. Turns out he did. They actually explained how he's still alive. Turns out, Thraka just, whenever one of his sidekick grots die, he just picks a new one to be the new Makari.
Oh my god.
Or something. And apparently they're like blessed by I think what was it? I think they're blessed by Mork. But
Gork.
No. They specifically say where is it? They specifically say like in the end, like he's usually blessed by Gork or possibly Mork. In fact, almost certainly Mork. Because I guess this Makari prefers Mork. I don't know. Whatever. Apparently he's usually blessed by Mork, but sometimes Gork. I don't know. Anyway, so let's just go over this crazy thing's stats. So he actually has 5 movement, which is pretty okay. It's not like not like they have. Yeah, but it's not like you expect much.
Yeah, orcs are supposed to be like slow. They're not necessarily
really
fast models.
No, but they're also not slow either. They're in the middle from what I've seen, but there's ways around it too. So a slow orc isn't really an issue because there's so many ways around their movement. So
yeah,
it doesn't matter. Weapon skill 4+, ballistic skill 4+, so that's just standard for orcs. His strength 3, toughness 3. Now here's where it gets interesting. So he has he has 4 wounds, which is already pretty good for a grot. The only thing comparable to this are killicans. Which I actually want to point out. I have someone I know. He plays orcs and he has a entirely grot army.
That's honestly a mad lad maneuver.
Because he's just like he only has units that are grots, so his army's just regular grots, the heavy guns that are operated by grots. They're led by the Red Gobbo, and I think it's like big heavy hitters are the.
I love the Red Gobbo.
Yeah. What did you know? By the way, did you know that about killicans?
I don't know what those are. Oh yeah, no, never mind. They're like the fucking weird guys that are just in like big fucking can-looking armors.
Yeah, I think they're essentially like orc versions of Terminators.
Yeah, I was gonna say they seem like orc. They seem like orc termies.
They're basically just grots sealed inside them. That's literally what they are. So, yeah. So he just has that, and Grot Shield is a terrifying ability because Grots are 2 points each, and
What?
Grot Shield the Grots are 2 points each. You can fill their troops, so you can fill a battalion with them, and they have a stratagem where for
Battalion, my
points,
man, you can just like spam brigades with that kind of shit.
Yeah. What makes it even funnier is that you can use Grot Shield, which for a command point, any damage going to an orc is going to a Grot. And if you have hundreds of them, it's whatever. Anyway, so he's got Wound Sword. He has 2 attacks, which at first doesn't seem like a big deal, because... Yeah, but we'll get into that. And he has a save of 6, which you're never even using the stupid save, because of his suspiciously lucky ability, where he has, and I'm dead-ass serious, a 2-up invulnerable save. So if you roll 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6, so anything
anything that isn't a 1, which is an automatic fail,
you're fine. And so he's just immune. Okay. He's just immune to shit. And here's where it gets worse. So he actually doesn't have a Grot Blaster. He doesn't have a gun, but he carries a Stabba called Makari Stabba, which has Strength 3, no AP, only does 1 damage. But when you're attacking with it, if you roll a wound roll of a 6, you inflict D3 mortal wounds.
It's not the greatest, but it's really good.
Considering the fact that he's just like, he has a 2-up invulnerability save, it's going to take a while to kill him. So at some point, something is going to die to that. Granted, if you do inflict mortal wounds, the sequence ends, you're not taking the normal damage. But that's the thing. This thing just gets D3 mortal wounds on a 6. So it doesn't even matter. He can just wait. And what's even a little more terrifying about this is you could just hold him in front, use Grot Shield to protect him, and since he's a character, all shots are coming to him. If a character's up front, you hit what's closest, so you're going to hit the character. So you could just use him as a shield. And he also has an ability that makes that way any Gretchen that are within 12 inches of the model can just get leadership of 6, can share his leadership, which is pretty fucking good. What is this? Why? I love how we thought this was a joke character in the trailer where we got all the hype and then, oh, it's Makari. I love how we thought this was a joke. But no, he's actually kind of terrifying. And he's a fucking Grot. Or Gretchen, one or the other.
Is like a Gretchen just a, what's it called? Female Grot?
No, Gretchen is weaker Grot.
Okay. I was gonna say Gretchen sounds a lot like the German word for girl, which is Mädchen.
I don't even think orcs really have genders because
they don't. They're what's it called? They're orc. They're all
orc.
Yeah.
No gender, just orc.
Honestly, the guys who made Games Workshop has fucking big ups from me just for the fact that just like Bungie, they made slurs for the enemy races because they're obviously racist against each other.
Yeah, greenskins.
Yeah, green skins. In Halo, an actual slur that they have for elites is split lips.
That's so mean, actually. Actually,
because they have mandibles, so why not call them split lips?
Fair enough. Actually, one thing I do appreciate Games Workshop for doing, but not being crazy about it, is because people, now that they've been getting more modern, people have mentioned how there's not a lot of these races are male oriented. I have how they've been slowly changing that, but not in a punching you in the face kind of way.
Not in the Marvel way.
No, not in the Marvel way. More so in the they're doing things they've said existed, but actually showing it, like how Asher Militarum, they just take whoever they can, not just men. They take women too. Commissars are women. They're just now exploring that because they've admitted they haven't been doing it now that 40K, I guess, is getting more female players, so they're trying to bring that forward. Necrons actually got a bit of a not change, but they've been exploring it more. Where even though generally all Necrons are just mindless and they don't even probably remember what their gender was, the ones that have sentience have actually been exploring. Okay, there's more female ones out there. Like, they mentioned that I think in one book there's a female overlord, then for sure there's a female cryptech, and they're expanding that. They're expanding on that. Now, I'm not going to get into the debate of female space marines. I don't think that'll happen, but they're definitely expanding on.
I don't want it to happen because there's already the fucking what's it called?
Sisters of the Battle.
Sisters of Battle. There's already the Adeptus Sororitas. They can just use them. Like, it's been because the thing is like
we're not getting into this. I don't
like
think we should.
Yeah,
this is
a really heated. It's a really heated debate.
I'm just gonna be honest. Like, I don't think we'll see female space marines. If we do, technically we have with Homuncul Haba, but no one wants to remember that, including me. If you want to see it, good luck. Homuncul Haba is disgusting. But if we, I won't be. I doubt we'll see it. If we do, cool. I don't care much. I don't think we will. So people have been bringing up how apparently, at one point, Malkador being just the old man who's just done with everything. Apparently, at one point, I think he was talking to Gilman, where he told the Emperor he should make the Primarchs women. That way, they wouldn't fight with each other so much. And he said that the Emperor thought he was joking, but he wasn't. I love that because he's just like, your father thought I was joking. I wasn't. You know what? I feel like everything could have been solved if we just listened to Malkador. Granted, he created the Inquisition, so maybe not. Well, to be fair, he didn't make the Inquisition become the Inquisition. It got out of hand after he died, and he couldn't stop it. So, I don't know. Malkador's great. Anyway,
Malkador's a mad lad.
Yeah. I will say this. If we do get female Space Marines, I'm calling it now. It's probably going to be from the Dark Angels, because for all we know, they already have them, and they're just hiding them like everything else they have. But yeah, I'm happy they've been exploring stuff more, and they're really like these factions that have had women in them they're finally like not exploring it more, but making it more representative, like Eldar, Tau, Commander Shadowsun getting a model. Because before it's just been, yes, they're women, but they're under helmets. Well, now we're seeing that more, like Jane's are. Not Ferris Mog. Actually, the Eldar have always had kind of women in them. And anyway, point is, we're getting that more now. Yeah. Also, can I just say something I find really funny about Saga of the Beast?
Yeah.
We've literally just been hearing about the orcs. We have heard nothing about the space wolves at all. Like, nothing at all. Like, by this time, we had we heard some information about the Genestealer cultists and Ashmiltarum, but we have heard nothing about the space wolves. We've just heard about Makari and Thraka, because people care a lot more about them than they do about
the Wolfie boys, which is big sad for me.
Fuck space furries. Anyway, so yeah, that was that. In terms of kind of what else has happened, not a whole lot. We got some Taus. Okay, so we got some update to Tau. Not update to Tau, sorry. Basically, we got them talking about the new Farsight novel coming out. Because there is going to be a new Farsight novel coming out.
Ooh, good. I want to actually use them. Not have to use resin, because fuck resin.
No, not Farsight model, like Farsight novel.
Oh, novel. I heard model, and I got really excited.
I don't think Farsight's being updated anytime soon. I would just get the stupid model.
Yeah, no, I hate resin so much.
Yeah, but it's just he doesn't have any variation. His big thing's the sword. You're fine.
No, I don't like resin for the lack of variation. I like resin for the fact that I can't use fucking plastic glue.
Well, you can use super glue.
I know.
I mean, to be fair, I wrecked my desk. I have it. Anyway, so yeah, basically you're just talking about the novels, like how there's just the one called Farsight, Farsight Crisis of Faith, and apparently the new one is called Farsight Empire of Lies. Basically it's apparently Farsight versus the orcs. And he launches a crusade against them. And yeah, basically, it's him trying to come to terms. It's him debating the greater good or not, like about the greater good, whether it's worth it or not. Because he already doesn't like the Tau Empire. That's why he created the Farsight Enclave in the first place. So yeah, yeah. I like Farsight. I just learned this. You can actually run Shadow Sun and Farsight in the same detachment.
You can?
And you can, but here's the thing. You just can't... Shadow Sun just can't benefit from any Farsight Enclave. Like, like you can't benefit from the army-wide buffs from being in an Enclave army. And she can't buff anyone. But she's still really good on her own.
I mean, her buff isn't necessarily too great.
What do you mean? What's her buff?
Her only buff is that you get to, how there's the whole thing where they can declare like one attack thing or the other attack thing that I really don't remember the name of right now.
Yeah.
Essentially, she's the opposite of Shadow Sun. So where Shadow Sun can declare the
Farsight.
Farsight. Whereas Farsight can declare Montka. It's Montka and something else.
Okay.
He can declare Montka twice. She can declare the other thing twice. And her thing is significantly better in my opinion, because Farsight is just like, hey, these guys, like whoever I pick just gets to move more, I think. But then Shadow Suns is just like, hey, these guys get to reroll any failed roll.
All right. That's
like any failed hit roll, I mean.
It's still pretty good.
His is just like, from what I remember, his was like, oh, you can, like, you lose the penalty to attacking with, to like advancing and shooting, what's it called? I forget the name right now. Assault weapons. But the thing about that is, like, you're not really going to be advancing much with Tau.
Well, you can, but anyway,
you can, but you really shouldn't.
Her drones are pretty good though. They can basically give anything in invulnerability save. So her drones can just give. Well, her drones can give anything a 6 up invuln save.
Well, yeah,
which is pretty good considering some saves can just be terrible. You can get screwed over.
Yeah. That's the one thing I like about the Tau. You can give any elite model a what's it called? A 3+ invulnerability saving throw.
Oh, that's pretty nice actually.
It costs you like 8 points or something. It's one of their defensive things.
Okay.
I think it's like 8 points, and any model can have a 3+ invuln saving throw. No, 4+. 3+ is Riptide specific.
That I feel like it's a little more than that, but okay. Actually, I have a friend who's been working on. He's so excited about what's her name now? I forget now. Shadow Sun. He's very excited about Shadow Sun. Like he rigged up her model that way she's like standing on a demon prince. It's awesome. Ooh. Big Tau player, and fun fact, before we continue, I want to point this out. So Void is actually debating starting a Tau army. Which is cool, but the thing is, what did you want to put? You want to put flamers on, I don't remember what was it?
Ghost Keel.
So he really wanted to put flamers on a Ghost Keel, which I said probably wouldn't work.
The thing is, I wanted to have flamers in one thing in my army so that it could complement the what's it called? So that it would complement Greater Good. Because what you were saying, you're like, Greater Good would make it useless, but what I think is Greater Good with a flamer is so good. Because if anything gets closer to that, you have a flamer. Okay, Banshees literally just destroyed Greater Good in general. Banshees are very unique models that you can't cast Overwatch against. But anything else that is advancing or has charged you are not only going to be dealing with a bunch of heavy weapons, they're also going to be dealing with flamers. No matter who they attack that's close to the Ghost Keel. You know?
Okay, but I do want to point out how flamers are good against infantry, they're not good against beefy units. And now, here's the thing. So that friend I mentioned who plays Tau, he's actually trying that. After I told him, he said it probably wouldn't work because the reason you're doing it is specifically for Overwatch, and you shouldn't be planning for Overwatch. You shouldn't be playing a model around getting Overwatched, around getting charged. You should be playing to make sure that thing doesn't get close to charging you. That's how you put it. Now he's actually
I'm running it as like a
trying
backup,
it.
you know?
I know, but he basically was saying that you should do that, but he's gonna try it and see how it goes. He's running because he's trying an army that's very aggressive, like cow pushing. So he's gonna try and run flamers on a ghost keel and see how it goes. Because he's gonna try in both defensive and offensive. Because he basically figured out because of with First Enclave, you can be a lot more like close quarters with Tau because essentially get buffs to melee now, and they actually are pretty good at it. So he's trying that. He'll see how it goes. He said it'll be interesting. He doesn't think it'll work, and I want to point out this guy plays Tau. It's like his main army. Versus Void, who's never played the army, has just been reading about it. So I want to point that out. Just saying. Just saying. Anyway, so meanwhile, I'm actually starting a Necron army, possibly.
Ooh. I was thinking of starting Necrons, but the only problem I have with Necrons is, you know me, I picked models based by how good they look. I hate the look
very
of
bland.
I hate the look of like 90% of Necron models. I only like their HQs.
I like how Necrons look. I like that they're simple, but the issue is I do think I don't like the base color scheme. My plan would be like black and red.
I was gonna make them black and white. I was gonna make them full skeletons.
Actually, I did come up with a cool like story for them because I also play Tyranids. So I was thinking, okay, what if this kind of came from the Silent King thing? I was thinking, okay, what if the Overlord, upon waking up, was like, okay, I want to fix our people, and maybe he thinks the Tyranids are the way to do it. So he converted a world engine he had, which. Please tell me you know what a world engine is.
I don't know anything about Necron lore. Why would I know what a world engine is?
Okay, it's an entire planet that's essentially a massive weapon that can think a Death Star, but a planet size.
Okay. So the Star Killer. So Star Killer base.
Basically, yeah, except can shoot a lot faster. And has a shield around it.
So Star Killer base.
Yeah, except doesn't blow up as easy. Anyway, so
I mean, I don't think Star Killer base did blow up, did it? Keep in mind, I've only seen like.
Yeah, it did.
Okay.
It exploded.
I mean, typical Star Wars, to be honest.
Yeah. Oh man, Star Killer base was cool. So cool. I'm sad it was only in one movie. Anyway, so he converts maybe a world engine, still using a Catan shard inside, but he converts it that way. He basically takes a Norn Queen, Norn Queen, manages to capture Norn Queen from the Tyranids, and manages to mind control it using a Catan shard. It basically takes control of this High Fleet behemoth tendril. And he just keeps using them, trying to like controlling them to grow. That way he might be able to biotransfer his Necrons under him into them to try and bring them back to how they were. The only thing being that this wouldn't work. Because I don't think you can do that. But yeah. Also, I learned something interesting. So, you know how Necrons don't have any psychers?
Yep.
The Catan shards actually have Catan powers.
Which are basically psychic abilities.
Except they can't be denied.
Oh.
And no stratagem or anything like that can stop them. Because they're not psychic abilities. They work like them, but they're not psychic abilities. But then again,
do they have something like Pearls of the Warp?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
But they're not
really
like
good then.
Yeah, but I don't think people don't run the Catan shards that often. So I don't know. I don't know if they're good. I've never seen anyone run the Catan shards. They're probably very expensive, which is why you don't run them. Because with Necrons, the whole idea is that you got this slow moving and very hard to kill army coming at you.
Yeah.
So
also, Catan shards are resin. A lot of people don't like resin.
Yeah, but they're beautiful models. Anyway, we're getting off topic. So last big announcement is this came literally today.
Yeah, I didn't even know about this. Oh no, I do actually. Never mind. You did tell me.
Yeah, I did tell you. Is the announcement of a new Warhammer 40,000 video game, Daka Squadron. Essentially, you play as a orc flyboy, just wreaking havoc. So essentially, you go from planet to planet, killing shit, killing other orc was. You can join like their campaigns are called was, by the way. So you killing other orc clans, killing humans, killing all this shit, going through your way, like just causing all sorts of destruction, and even eventually work your way up to Warboss. And there's even like different clans you can join, with their own personalities. Well, they're basically just the Evil Sun stuff, like the Evil Sons, the Blood Axes, just the general stuff. But yeah, you can just join these different clans. And it seems interesting. It's coming to PC, and apparently it's coming this March. Not this March. Apparently it's coming soon. Let me double check. It looks fun. Simple, but fun. So I'm just happy we get an orc-themed game, honestly.
I mean, what's it called?
That'd be cool.
Dawn of War was pretty orc themed. They were and same with
No, but I meant like where you play.
Oh, like where you play as an orc, yeah.
And not through DLC. Not through DLC though.
What do you mean through DLC?
I meant like it's not like how in Dawn of War you can play orcs, like campaign through orcs through a DLC.
Well, no, Retribution isn't DLC. Retribution is its own game.
Okay, well, still, it's not my.
It's marked as DLC, but it's what's called a standalone DLC. It's a quote unquote DLC. It's really not a DLC.
Well, what I mean is, well, what I meant is kind of like a game
where you play orcs, and that's like a game centered around orcs.
Yeah. So not like Battlefleet Gothic where you can play as orcs, which is kind of fun. I've been playing a lot of Battlefleet Gothic. I've been loving it.
It seems like a fun game, but not my type of game. I prefer I prefer unit-based RTSs, which is why I love Dawn of War.
I mean, Battlefleet Gothic kind of is that.
No, thematically. I'm controlling, in Battlefleet Gothic, you're controlling ships, thus the name. And Dawn of War, I'm controlling people.
Fair enough. I do like Battlefleet Gothic. I haven't gotten to 2 yet. I'm very excited to get to that eventually. But my only issue with 1 is that like you got the main like cruisers, and then you have the tiny ships, the escort ships. The escort ships are terrible, and they always die so fast. I'm like, can I just like take just another cruiser? Do I have to use this terrible ship that's just gonna die right away? Like, come on. It's dumb. It's really dumb.
The thing is, you might also not be using them right, because that's what I was thinking. Because there was a big complaint that a lot of people online were having with Dawn of War. They're like, oh, the scouts suck. But then you realize that the scouts' whole point is to be extremely tactical and be fucking demolitionists.
Well, here's the thing with the escort ships. They're not that... They're faster than the big ships. Yeah, that's true. But their big gimmick is that they have strong... I think they have strong prow weapons. So the idea is that you're meant to just... But they are close range. So the idea is that you go up to these ships and you hover around them. But they don't have abilities. They don't have torpedoes. They don't have melta weapons. They have nothing. They're just meant to be harassment, and you have them in close proximity while your big ship is kind of just chilling and doing the real damage. And sometimes you'll cap objectives with them, because there's some missions where you have to go like, go to this point and shoot a beam downwards. That's kind of what you do. The issue is that they have so little health, they die super fast. Like, so I'm just, okay, they're dead. Cool, I'll just do everything with my two cruisers. Cool. But Battlefleet Gothic does do a good job of like distinguishing the two, like all the different playable races, factions. The Imperium is by far my least favorite, because their playstyle is they don't have one.
No, everything is a playstyle. Theirs is just more basic.
No, yeah, it's basically just your mixture of close and your mid range.
So they're the jack of all trades. They're not specialists.
Yeah, but in a game where there's tons of specialists, so they don't really have. So the issue is like, yeah, they're just
Look at that.
basic.
They managed to mirror what they do. What Space Marines are like in the real game.
Yeah. Well, it's not even Space Marines. You're just the Imperial Navy.
No, because it's
Like,
literally
it's-
just Space Marines. Because the what's it called? The other factions of the Imperium are more specialized. You know.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying you're not. The people you play as are just the Imperial Navy. They're
No,
not Space
I
Marines.
know. I'm talking about mostly just Space Marines. And
Okay.
I'm saying that they managed to replicate what it feels like to play a Space
got
Marine in actual 40k, where you're just a jack of all trades. That you're not great at one thing, but you're good at everything.
Yeah, and yeah,
Set that
good
in
at
40.
everything. A little too good at everything.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's the problem though. 40k, you're a little bit too good at everything.
Like I heard this recently, but basically, when Space Marines got their second codex of 8th edition, Psychic Awakening seems to be like trying to fix the mistake that was that codex for making Space Marines so strong.
Yeah, it's very accurate to be honest.
Yeah. Iron Hands could have a Dreadnought as a warlord.
Which I find baller as shit.
Yeah, but they can also carry a relic. That's when it becomes a little broken.
Yeah, that is true.
So, and a warlord trait
That's something that's already powerful as shit.
on a Dreadnought. So, anyway, like one thing I like about the Gothic is how
I mean, so could
Like-
the Blood Angels actually.
no,
Yeah,
Not-
they can
not
have a
there.
Liberian Dreadnought.
yeah, I don't know. Still, but also you gotta remember this is Iron Hands, which buff vehicles to shit.
Yeah, exactly. That is true.
So anyway, so there's a bunch of different races you can play as. In the base game, you can play as Orcs, Eldar, and Chaos. Whole gimmicks are Chaos or super long range ships.
Really?
Yeah.
I would have made it the opposite.
Well, I'll get to that later, but their long range ships I think have strong side weapons, port weapons. The Eldar have ships that can just move really fast. They're very weak, but they can move very fast. And they have a lot of shields. So the big thing is you want to get rid of those. But they have very strong prow weapons. And they can also just do these little bursts of speed. And then you got orcs, which are very slow and clunky.
But guess fucking ridiculous firepower.
Yeah. On top of the fact, well, that's actually not their main gimmick. Their main gimmick is they literally on their control panel have a big red button labeled ramming speed. You literally ram into people.
It's amazing. Not even gonna lie.
So you basically will just ram into opponents, and they're bulky as shit. So I don't think their shooting is that good. Like they don't have great damage, but you'll ram into people, and because you're so bulky, it doesn't matter. So you just charge at them.
Really? That's dumb in my opinion.
It's
If
fucking. It works.
if anyone should have the high firepower, it should be the orcs.
Well, I think the thing is, like, they got all these other races there. Here's the thing: in Battlefield Gothic, like, every race basically has the same like basic weapons. It's the specialized shit that's the big deal. And Orc's specialized thing is, hey, we're gonna ram into you for an insane amount of damage. So
Yeah, I guess. I mean, in my opinion, what I would have done is like just made it so that their special just has to do with them like shooting more. You know?
yeah, that's boring. Like really boring. Orcs are probably the most fun. I know in Battlefield Gothic 2, that's when they really vary things up because you get what do you get? Necrons, Imperial Navy,
You get Tyranids.
Yeah, Tyranids, Chaos. Like you get a lot. Orcs again, I think. Like you get a lot. Also, I want to point out how one thing I learned is in the ending of Battlefield Gothic Armada 2, even when Abaddon wins, he loses. So because basically in these in Battlefield Gothic 2 at least, you're not playing as like the leaders of a faction, you're playing as like someone under them. So like with Necrons, you're not playing as Tenzin the Infinite, you're playing as someone like who's under him. like another Necron overlord, who essentially, which by the way, in that game, in that ending, by the way, none of these endings are canonical, because in the ending of the Necron one, you literally seal the Eye of Terror. So that's obviously not canon, because last time I checked it, that's still around. In Chaos one, turns out, so this you play as this random Chaos like word bearer who's with Abaddon, and essentially he's like, yeah, fuck you, I'm the leader now. And he says this to Abaddon's face, by the way. He basically tells Abaddon at a like he invites all the like a bunch of leaders from Abaddon, from Black Legion. So imagine this: you got a long table, you got the word bearer at the end, at the head of the table, you got Abaddon at the other end. You have a
then you have like what's it called? Then you have like
no, hold on, I'm not done.
Yeah, like Hawken World Claimer and a bunch of people like that.
No. You got a Thousand Sun Legionary. You got another Black Legion guy. You got some Thousand Suns and World Eaters and Word Bears every here once in a while. The table that's supposed to be food is just guts and gore. There's a body hanging above it, so blood's dripping down. And then off to the hanging from the ceiling are like these paintings of the Word Bearer and a bunch of Slaanesh demonettes. And then over onto the side is like a bunch of Slaanesh demonettes. One is conducting the others, and the others are playing instruments that they're parts of their body. And this Word Bearer is just laying it out and basically being like, oh, you're as weak as Horus. I'm the new War Master. I'm the better one. And I'm just sitting here like, okay, cool. Cuts to black. Wow, that probably means... okay, my Google went off. Okay, cool. I guess that means after cut to black, Abaddon just stabbed the shit out of him. Because I'm just thinking, Abaddon's on the other side all mad, and I'm just like, you're just a word bearer who's about to be shit on by Abaddon. Because he's just like, you suck, I'm the new War Master. I'm just like, alright, when's Abaddon going to clap his ass? Because I'm going to point out, Abaddon has Draconian on him, and Talon of Horus. He's fully armored. So I'm just like, this
just
dude's about
waiting for the
die. Like, Abaddon's just going to walk over, bitch slap him into infinity, and then that's it. And my favorite part about this is the Thousand Sun Legionary just looking at the table like, the fuck is this? Like, he's just so confused.
What's this man doing?
It's just so funny because he's so like, I'll show you it later, but essentially it's just, he thinks he's being all triumphant. I'm just thinking like, this guy's gonna fucking die. Because he's insulting Abaddon to his face at a fucking dinner. What do you think's gonna happen? He's just gonna be like, oh well, he was right. I'm out, boys. Like, you think Abaddon's just gonna be okay with you insulting him? Like, you're insulting probably one of the most dangerous people in all of the galaxy to his face. What do you think is gonna happen when you're done? Anyway, I'm done that. So anyway, yeah, that was pretty much the news. There was an announcement, a preview of White Dwarf, but never gonna bother going over that because it's White Dwarf. I'm just trying to see if there's anything I'm missing. They're showing a battle report to a campaign they've been doing. Yeah, that's about it. Basically, just finishing up a campaign they've been doing.
Okay.
So, I don't think there's anything that's been as funny as Eldrad, like just poking Abaddon with a stick, but
until Abaddon dies.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, I was reading some Eldar stuff, and it's basically there's a scene where Yvrain's just sitting in Eldrad's like just his place, like he has his own tower, and he's just sitting there like looking around, and it's like he's just a fucking horror because he just keeps shit that people leave in there. Apparently, so he just has all this stuff stacked up, and she's just like, why do you have all this? And he's like, cause I can't get rid of it. I'm like, he's just a hoarder then. Although she makes the best comment when she's talking about how big the place is. She says, as something like it wouldn't even count as half the size of an Archon's what was it, like cape room or something like that. I love your brain. Anyway, so yeah, that was pretty much the end of the news. Actually, yeah, there really wasn't a whole lot, was there?
There's really only Thraka.
Yeah, it really has only been Thraka. Like, it. I mean, I'm hyped for him, but it really is just Thraka. So, I don't know. Just kind of a odd
Kind of meh, yeah.
week. This is a iffy week, yeah.
It's been a quiet week. It's been a quiet week for GW.
Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see. Maybe next week we'll get some more, but honestly, no idea.
I'm really just hoping they start explaining what the fuck they're gonna be doing with the Space Wolves, because that's the one thing I'm really fucking excited for. Like, Jesus Christ.
We've got like 2 weeks since it's got announced and nothing. So we know more about the Psychic Awakening book coming out after this than we do about this one.
Yeah, no, it's great. I love it.
Yeah, because this whole thing has just been hyping up Gazskull. Because we saw the trailer, which was so hyped, and then we got Makari. Then we got more jokes about Makari. Then turns out Makari is actually terrifying. I'm just thinking, okay, if this is Makari, the fuck is Thraka gonna be? If this is the joke, what is the real deal gonna be? Like, fuck, man, that's gonna be terrifying. But yeah, we got through the news really fast.
Yeah, but then again, like with the first episodes, first episode we had never done it before, so we did everything about Psychic Awakening. Second episode,
we didn't have to, we just kind of did.
Yeah. Last week's episode was just, we hadn't done an episode in a hot while, because, yeah.
Life, basically.
Life.
But, as of right now, well, it's also just because we have, like, no news. There's, like, 3 things worthwhile talking about.
Yeah, but that's what I mean, because, like, last week, it was 3 weeks since we had recorded. So we had a lot more stuff to talk about.
Yeah, but we didn't even talk about everything that happened. We just talked about what happened that week. Like, and mentioned some other stuff. Like, there's been nothing this week. Like, really nothing. So, oh well. Yeah. So yeah. So, what have you been doing this week, 40K related?
In terms of 40K, really just planning out my potential Tau army, figuring out what the fuck I'm gonna run,
and not knowing the first thing about Tau while doing it.
You want to fight me?
I'm just saying. I've actually played against Tau and know someone who plays Tau. So I'm just saying I actually know what's going to be smart, what's not. Also, motherfucker, you were debating not magnetizing Tau models. You always magnetize Tau. You don't just.
Here's the reason that I don't magnetize things. I have very specific listings that I do. Like, I know what every piece is going to have, and I build around that.
Yeah, but the point I'm trying to make is, like, okay, what if you want to try a different list? You're fucked. Magnetize shit. You can buy like 500 magnets on Amazon for $12.
Yeah, I guess. Like, cause Tau is like really the only one where I can clearly see things that would work well in different circumstances. Not even NIDs. Why would you magnetize NIDs?
Well, mainly because it makes packing some of them easier. Actually.
I mean, I guess, but still.
Because like when I get a Hive Tyrant, I'm magnetizing the wings because I can just take them off and.
No. Okay, the wings make sense because you can scrap the wings with another weapon.
Okay, but my point is, if you have variation, and it's not like a one's obviously better kind of thing. Like
yeah, no, that's the thing. 90% of my armies are like that. It's like, why would you magnetize when this thing is clearly superior? You know, like don't waste time.
Yeah, but when it comes to like stuff like Tyranid specifically, warriors, you magnetize them. The tyrants, you magnetize.
Why would you magnetize warriors? They have things that are clearly better between each other.
Because sometimes you might need it. Like I magnetize them that way I can switch not the bone swords all the time, but you might want to try the whips, you might want to try
I mean,
death
you
spitters,
should
you might
not
want
run like with them. You should basically only run death spitters with what's it called, bone sword and slash whip, lash whip. I mean, that's the
well,
best setup for a warrior.
I'm running them with two. Okay. Eh.
No,
Running them with
dual
two
bone swords. In my opinion, dual bone swords should only be for your heavy guy, because then your
well,
heavy guy can have two bone swords as well as a venom cannon.
that's very contradictory, you know that, right?
I know that's the point.
It's
That's the point. Because then, if they're close to range, you have the bone swords. If they're far away, you have the what's it called?
I'm just saying I
Yeah,
magnetize
snipers.
them that way.
Like, there's a reason. There's a reason that some effective builds in shooting games will consist of like a sniper and a shotgun. It's just effective in basically all ranges.
Okay, well, I magnetize them that way. I would have some. I'd be able to do some variation if I want to change things, because there's a good chance I'd want to. So magnetize them that way I'm not screwed if I do. If I don't,
Yeah, with me,
yeah.
like with my nids, I don't plan on changing literally anything about them because with my playstyle, I don't see a point.
Trust me, you're gonna regret that. I regret that with Eldar because I really.
I mean, the
There's
thing
some
is,
stuff I'm gonna
Eldar
work
have a
with.
lot of different weapons that are suitable for different things. Tyranids, it's like you have this thing and
Same
then this
thing.
thing that's better.
Not necessarily, because sometimes you want variation. Trust me on this. You don't want to do that. Trust me. You're gonna want to.
I mean, I did ask a lot of people on the 40k server about what to run on
Don't
nids.
ask them.
They all agreed on the same thing. It was
Yeah,
unanimous.
trust me. Okay, but I don't trust them because they just don't. I find to tend they can be very opinionated and not always right. The number one thing I've learned about playing 40k is test something, and if it works, then you know if it works or not. Don't just ask people, test it. Which is why I magnetize the models, because A, I just want to practice magnetizing, and B, it just makes things easier. That way, I'm not screwed over. So,
But that's the thing. Like, it's just because I really don't see any point in changing some of the models I have. You know,
trust me.
I'm
If
not
something
gonna.
has options, if
I'm
something
not
has
gonna
options,
trust
you do it. Okay, I'm just saying. I'm gonna be magnetizing Necrons too. Well, not all of them. Magnetizing the specifically, just in case. Anyway, that's about it for what I've been doing. For what you've been doing that week, I haven't really been doing anything. I've just more so been trying to finish up my. I've been trying to finish up my Eldar painting because I still have to finish up their I've been trying to finish up painting my Craft World Eldar, specifically the Dire Avengers. So I'm happy finally being able to finish that up. So yeah. That's about it. So I guess we're gonna talk about our weekly lore thing.
Yeah, this has been a surprisingly
Okay.
short recording session.
Well, because we have there's no news.
Yeah,
We've done nothing. That's the other thing.
it's been a quiet week for GWM for us.
Yeah. Okay, so I'll let. Okay, so this week is Zinch.
Zinch,
Do you want to cover
aka
Zinch?
Psychic Boy, aka the mad lad of turning people into fucking birds and shit.
AKA the one who caused the whole burning of Prospero. Not burning of Prospero. He's the one who kind of led to the whole Magnus thing.
Oh, not him. It was more. It was more a mix of Magnus being a dumb idiot, and
well, it also allowed. It also kind of allowed the whole burning of Prospero to happen, because the whole reason that happened was because Magnus tried warning his father about Horus. Magnus like, okay, I can't do it because there's a psychic barrier in the way. That psychic barrier being the fucking
the Webway project,
being the Webway,
the protection, like the psychic barrier, the Emperor put it so no one would find out about the Webway project.
And then Magnus broke it open, causing a horde of demons to flood in. And then Terror almost got consumed. And then the Emperor sent Lehman Russ to go bring Magnus back, which then
But
resulted
then
in
fucking okay. So let's actually
Forrest being
let's actually talk about the whole story of Magnus first. So Magnus is obviously one of the Primarchs, and he's one of the Chaos Primarchs, as is the whole thing that we're talking about. The thing with Magnus, I actually don't know his lore too much, so please correct me in shit that I get wrong.
Wait a minute. So you're like, oh, let me lead the talking about. Meanwhile, I actually know about Magnus's lore, and you don't.
Nah, but you see, I know how to shitpost.
Yeah, but I actually know.
Okay, yeah, no, I'll talk to his lore more when it comes to the whole with the happenings of him and Lehman, because that I can talk about very well. Because you see, Lehman Russ is my man. Lehman Russ is my boy, and if you disrespect him in my presence, or if you disrespect anything to do with me knowing his lore, I will smite you.
Fuck Lehman. That's it. All I'm saying.
You hate him because he snapped your daddy's spine.
Yeah, but he's still standing, so it's fine. Anyway, continue.
Standing under quotations if you call being a demon bitch standing.
Well, I mean, it doesn't.
Okay, so yeah, go on with like his origin.
Okay.
Because that's the one part that I have no idea of.
You have no idea about
all I know is that he landed on the planet with a fuck ton of psychers and was praised as like a psycho god.
Okay, so he landed on Prospero. Basically, Magnus is interesting because what happened was, unlike almost every other Primarch, when the Emperor touched down to meet Magnus, they immediately started hugging each other. So it's heavily implied that they were actually communicating for possibly years before they actually physically met each other. Magnus basically being the one who inherited a lot of the Emperor's, psychic power. Magnus was always very strong psychically and one of the strongest psychers in the galaxy. He might very well currently be the strongest with the Emperor being gone. So there's that. A. B. He always was big on pushing what him and his Legion, the Thousand Sons, could do with psychic powers. Him and his Legion experimented deeply into it to the point where new Thousand Sons legionaries actually, they weren't all psychers, but most the Thousand Sons had a lot more psychers than normal. Got to the point where new psychers actually trained familiars, which they didn't know at the time, but were demons. So they're already being kind of trained to summon demons. The other thing is they even created different cults to study psychic abilities or sorcery or whatever they called it, each focusing on different things. However, the Emperor was like, okay, you guys are learning a bit too much here. Maybe you shouldn't. Maybe you shouldn't do that. So Magnus was like, yeah, okay, we won't do that. But then he still did it. His whole legion still did it, which resulted in something called the Trial of Magnus the Red. Essentially, the Emperor after Magnus fucked up, he brought Magnus to Terra and basically forbade him from using psychic powers ever again, and forbade all of the Adeptus Astartes and every psyker in the Imperium from using their psychic abilities ever again. So, yeah. And I think it's something about all librarians being turned into chaplains instead. Like, all librarians would be shut down. So, okay, whatever there. Which then later on, Magnus found out about the whole Horus thing, tried telling him. Emperor got really mad. So Magnus
because Magnus fucked up the entirety of the webway.
He fucked up the Terran webway.
No, okay, the webway project. He fucked that up completely.
Yeah, because essentially how it worked was the Emperor was trying to use the webway gate from Terra to connect to the others. But the issue is Magnus fucked that one up, resulting in the whole project coming down because he couldn't fix it. Because now Terra needed to constantly keep that gate closed or they'd be fucked. And the issue is the only ones who could really use the webway were the Eldari. So yeah, there's that. Which isn't great. So Emperor was very mad. He told Lehman to go bring Magnus back, but Horus was like,
"This
is
where I come in, my boy. You had your spotlight. Now it's my turn." So after Magnus fucks up and acts like a goddamn idiot, the Emperor is like, "Hey, Lehman, do me a favor, get your bitch ass brother and bring him here because I'ma spank him." But then, while that's happening, Lehman, being, the fucking guard dog of the Empire, is like, "Gotcha. Who's actually got a kick?" Then he goes to fight him, but then Horus, like the bitch he is like, "Hey, Lehman, Emperor fucked
Hey.
up. He actually meant to say go kill Horus."
Which I want to point out something funny. When Russ went to go do that, he had a bunch of custodies and Sisters of Silence with him that were there when the Emperor gave him the order. So it's like they didn't say anything.
Because that's the thing.
Really?
It was likely it was likely that horses were like, "Hey, you misunderstood what he meant. By bring his ass here, he didn't mean alive. He meant dead."
Yeah, but it's still funny because the custodians and the Sisters of Silence would probably know. Yeah, he didn't mean that, but okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. Probably was something added that they kind of realized, oh shit, maybe we should have thought that one through a bit more.
Yeah. But anyways, Lehman goes there, comes at him. Him and Horus start beating the shit out of each other. And this is the part that actually made me fall in love with Lehman Russ. The fact that, like, he's shorter than Magnus. Like a couple of, like, about like a foot at the most, right? So he's shorter than Magnus.
I think Lehman was just 10 feet and Magnus was... I think Lehman was slightly smaller, or about the same size as Vulcan. So he was 11 feet.
Okay. So yeah.
He might have been taller, I actually don't know. But the
So,
point is he was,
anyways,
say 11 feet.
They're beating the shit out of each other. Lehman is out there with his two wolves, and Magnus is there with the psychic bullshit.
Which I want to point out, Magnus was aware of the attack coming, but he didn't do anything. He didn't tell his legion, so Thousand Suns were completely unprepared, and suddenly the wolves were just dropping on them, and they had no idea this was going to happen.
Yeah.
Until, like... Yeah, and Magnus was just like, yeah, I'm just going to accept this, but the rest of the legion was not happy about it, so they're like, fuck you, Magnus.
Even though, like, you know, if the Emperor is sending Lehman Russ to find you, you shouldn't try to resist. You should try to appease it.
They didn't know about Lehman coming. That's the thing. They didn't know about.
They just knew about an attack.
No, they didn't even know an attack was happening. They were
no,
just
no.
like,
I mean, what's his name? Fucking
Magnus didn't even know. I'm just saying, Magnus knew about it as it was about to happen, but he didn't tell say anything. So then all the Thousand Suns just suddenly their entire world was burning, and they didn't know why.
Yeah, but then Lehman comes in, starts beating the shit out of him. But I think the coolest thing is that Lehman is on fire because of Magnus's warp fire. He doesn't give a fuck. He's still fighting. Like the badass bitch he is. Oh, that's the headless. Fuck me. Give me a sec. I stumbled into the wrong fucking area.
This is why you don't play Sekiro while doing a podcast.
I know.
That's the exact reason you don't do this. Ugh, jeez.
All right. Anyways, what happens is motherfucking Lehman Russ comes in and starts beating the shit out of I'm forgetting names so much now. Magnus, yes, thank you.
There's literally two names to remember there.
I know.
Lehman
and Magnus are fighting. Lehman's on fire. Magnus has a couple of bones broken. But then what happens is one of Lehman's dogs goes to attack Magnus, and Magnus just with his staff just crushes the thing's skull in. And Lehman gets so pissed, he goes on a full offensive. He just starts beating the shit out of Magnus with his bare hands, grabs him and snaps his back Bane style over his knee, right?
Which gets reversed once.
Which then a couple seconds later, Magnus decides to throw in the bitch towel and prays to Siege to help him, and then Siege turns into a giant fucking demon.
Yeah, so he's made of ethereal shit, so he's no longer got broken bones.
Yeah. But that's where he's
missing an eye still, though. He's still missing an eye, though.
He had to sacrifice the eye to what's it called? He actually had to sacrifice the eye to become a demon.
Did he, or did he lose it? Oh no, because you remind me of Odin here.
No, he sacrificed it. He didn't lose it.
Okay, but I really hope he's not. Okay, I won't put some out. This is very off topic. But Magnus the Red has an actual what he really looks like versus what he looks like as a demon Primarch. They're two different things, right? He has an actual true demon form, and he has this Magnus the Red form. I hate the demon form because it's just It's just an ugly ass eye.
But yeah, because his demon form, he has like a fucking like he's a cyclops, right?
Yeah, and it's ugly as shit, and apparently it's terrible. I hate it. Like it's just. Also, I want to point out, Magnus really isn't that much different as a demon Primarch than he
He's
is
literally
as,
just a bigger him.
with wings.
Yeah, he's 100% the
And talons. He also has talons.
he's the most human looking demon Primarch. The only reason he's more human looking than Fulgrim is because Fulgrim has the like snake legs, like snake
Mortarion,
tail, I guess.
What about Mortarion?
Mortarion is like withered as shit and has giant like wings.
Yeah, but I'm saying like he still looks like he doesn't really look mutated.
He doesn't look mutated, but he doesn't look human, in my opinion. He still looks demonic. He looks more demonic.
Yeah, you can tell he's a demon Primarch, but still, I think I think he like. If you were to just say like remove the wings and you were to say, oh, he's still a regular Primarch, I would believe you. Because if you were to remove the wings, he still looks like a demon Primarch. He just looks like a Primarch. Gorgeous model, though. Actually, I want to quickly ask, now that we're on the subject, who do you think we're getting first, Lionel Johnson or Russ?
Russ.
Okay, I kind of wish we get Lionel back because he'd probably lead the Imperium much better than Gilliman. Let's be honest here. Because like you got Gilliman, who's like the teacher's pet, and then you got like Lionel, who actually knows what's best generally. Like he generally knows what's best for everything. And doesn't start Imperium 2 the moment shit goes wrong.
We are now starting Imperium 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Just saying, Imperium Secundus is fucking wild, and I love it. People say like, oh, Gilman's a traitor for doing that. I'm like, I don't agree with that. I just find it funny how Gilman's like, perfect, I'm in charge again. Because remember, he had an empire before he met up with Big E.
Yeah.
And then he's like, bam, we got a second empire.
We got empire again.
Well, technically, there's another empire. Technically, there's two Imperiums now. Kinda, if you know what I'm talking about. Because
you squint, there is.
No, because what's going on now is because of the Great Divide going on currently. Gilliman can't take care of both sides of the Imperium because it got literally split in half. So, what happened was he told Dante, "Okay, you're the regent of the other side of the Imperium, and I'm the regent of this side." Because he essentially needed Dante to take care of it. Because who the fuck else are you going to do it other than Dante?
True.
To be fair. Although you chose the suicidal man to do that, so that's kind of my question. You chose the suicidal man to lead the half of the Imperium, so
But that's the thing.
remember,
because Dante, the thing with Dante is that I wouldn't label it as suicidal. He wants to die, but not like I wanna die. You know, like it's not like he wants to take his own life. He wants to die in order to, because he knows that his death will come at the, like, what's it called? His life will. It's what's gonna cost. Like his life is the price for essentially fixing the Empire, or like getting rid of chaos.
Yeah, but he still kind of wants things to be done. Like he's like, I just let me die so I can finally be at peace, kind of thing. He just really wants to be done. Can't really blame him. Because he's just, yeah, I feel bad for him.
I feel really bad for Dante.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, that was technically Thousand Suns, because we didn't reach.
Oh, no, but not, yeah, so that's basically what happened with the Thousand Suns. Then, like, after that, there's the whole thing with Armin, the Rubrikai.
Oh my gosh, Armin's an idiot.
Yeah,
can I just rant about Armin real quick?
Yeah, you can.
I find him funny.
You take that one over, because again, I don't know the beginning and end of Armin.
So basically, Armin was always the second in command of Thousand Suns, but basically the Thousand Suns dealt with.
I'm just gonna cut in real quick. Absolutely stunning model.
Oh yeah, but here's the thing: so the Thousand Sons always had this like gene seed defect that caused them to mutate, which affected them horribly, and it basically killed them. So they always had this, but Magnus found a spell to stop it. Cool. When Magnus became a Demon Primarch, suddenly that disappeared because he was Demon Primarch. So he couldn't keep it up, and he didn't really care. So Armon was like, "Okay, we need to fix this shit." So he started a spell called the Rubric, which was going to fix everything. What actually ended up happening is a shit ton of legionaries who were present got their souls tied to their armor instead. And I want to point out, if you want to hear about great scene, like an actual great description of the scene of this all happening, read Talon of Horus. You actually get a great description of what happens, and you even see how desperate some sorcerers were to stop Iron Man, like straight up opening fire on him to try and stop the Rubric. Anyway, so basically, Armon tries the Rubric. It starts trapping the souls of the Thousand Sons legionaries into their armor, turning them to literal dust.
Essentially, they all became fucking Alphonse from Fullmetal Alchemist.
Except minus the personality. It just did whatever they said. So that happened, and then after Magnus found out, Armon was horrified by this. And then after Magnus found out, he just kicked him out. Because he kicked him out of the Legion and forbade him from ever returning to, not Prospero, but whatever their new planet was. He forbade him from ever being part of the Legion. So now him and his warband just kind of travel around doing whatever. And he did something kind of funny. He actually assaulted the Black Library because he found it. Which is funny, because he basically was like, hey, I'm going to go fight the Harlequins in their craft world and in one of the most heavily secured places in the galaxy. I think he was there for like 2 years and got nowhere. Because the whole idea about the Black Library is that it's a maze, and it's a fucking planet-sized ship. And it's a maze, and the Harlequins are in there. So, Harlequins, close quarters, you don't like that combination.
You really don't.
Because I think he's trying to find a solution to the Rubric. I don't know. Armon's just had shit happen to him so much. Like, Lady Rain, actually, because she's the something of Enid, like emissary of Enid, she literally just brought back a bunch of the Rubrics to life and just killed them immediately. Like, literally, right beside Armon, a bunch of his Rubrics came back to life, and then she immediately killed them.
She's like, yeah, fuck you. Them. Just literally just to say, get fucked, idiot.
Yeah, she just wipes them out. It's great. Oh, man. But yeah, that's Sons and Tzeentch. Tzeentch just fucks with people. That's about it.
For anyone here who watches Major Kill, for some reason, some dumb idiot decided to tell him that how you pronounce Tzeentch is Titsnitch.
What the fuck?
Yeah, that's not how you pronounce it. It's Tzeentch.
How did anyone convince anyone to pronounce Titsnitch?
No, because that's the thing. The person actually thought it was pronounced like that. Because Tzeentch is really hard to pronounce. What? It's 100% hard to pronounce.
Yeah, but once you're told it, it's not that hard.
I know, that's the thing. The guy was never told. Reading it is hard, but when you figure out how to do it on your own, it's like, oh shit, that's actually not too complicated.
Oh, that reminds me of how in some audiobook, someone pronounced Gilliman as Ghoulie Man.
Ghoulie Man?
Ghoulie Man? I'm like,
it's a little girly man. That's all I can think. Just like the.
And we lost all of our German viewers, right? Cool. Anyway, so yeah, that's it. I got nothing else sad. How about you?
Huh?
I got nothing else sad. How about you?
Oh yeah, just one last thing, which is about because we always usually cover the demons as well. With the
yeah, they're usually birds or weird blue blobs.
Yeah, it's either birds or something that just looks fucking weird. That's the rule.
That breathes fire.
Yeah, and if it breathes fire, you're good. In terms of their models, they have the Rubric Marines, which are fucking terrifying because their firepower is so good.
Yeah, like their firepower is really good because they have souped up bolters,
Inferno bolters.
Like, yeah, they got Inferno bolters. They could have Inferno cannons on a unit of them, which is even more terrifying. Which means, okay, say for example, if by some miracle,
Yeah, this
Sisters of
so fire
Silence become
cannons.
relevant again. Yeah, if by some miracle Sisters of Silence become relevant again, they still got to deal with those fucking cannons because those are strong cannons.
The thing is, you are restricted to 1 per unit of 10.
That still doesn't matter.
But yeah, I know, like, it's easy. Just run more units.
Like, Rubric Marines are great because even if you somehow shut down their psychic powers, they're still gonna fuck you over with their guns. It's great.
Yeah. And the other good
Yeah.
thing about them is the fact that they don't...
Every Rubric Marine squad has a Psyker in it.
Yeah, every Rubric Marine squad has their aspiring sorcerer, who is a psyker. So, that's smite out the ass.
Well, they're not even using Smite, they're using Zinja's Firestorm.
Well, yeah, Firestorm as well.
Which can do a lot more than which is really good against groups. Ugh, that's more like you can have up to like what? I had an entire squad of 10 wiped out by them.
It's ridiculous.
Crazy. When I have a guy I know, he plays Thousand Suns, and every time we play, I always gotta be careful of them because they're terrifying.
And not only that, they also have the Scarabs.
You the Scarab Cult Terminators.
Scarabs, yes.
Yeah, Scarab Occult Terminators.
Scarabs, yes. I'm not gonna call them that long ass name. That's like saying
Terminators. They have Terminators.
They got their termies,
which are Terminators with psychic powers and the crazy bullshit weapons.
So yeah,
if I had to say, they're probably the second best Terminators in the game. Death Guard still being first.
Yeah.
Death Guard, you can't. I don't think there's anyone arguing Death Guard the best because high toughness, disgusting resilience, rerolling ones, flail of corruption. That's a plague weapon, by the way.
Yeah, which is just.
And there's no restriction how many you can run. You can run 2 in a squad.
Yeah. All in all, it's disgusting.
What the fuck is that noise? Okay, someone's like banging their window above me, on the floor above me. It's driving me fucking crazy. But yeah. That's Thousand Suns. They're great. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna lose my shit. They're still banging their fucking window. Okay, yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's it. Oh yeah, in terms of their demons, there's the
Lord of Change.
There's the Lord of Changes, their greater demon, Kairos Fate Weaver being the big boy version of them. But there's also their lesser demons. There's the blue horrors, the pink horrors, iridescent horrors, flaming horrors. There's a lot of horrors. They also have, but again, their whole shtick is just, hey, we breathe fire and we cast magic.
They also have what are they called? The bird things. They also Zangars.
Yeah, Zangars. Those are newish to 40k at least, because they were in Age of Sigmar for a long time, but now they've finally been transferred to 40k.
All right, so they have Zangars. They have. I don't know about how good their demons are. I don't think this could be an army where you're really running the demons. You're still running a demon prince because every chaos faction runs demon princes, unless you're like Legion. Yeah. I think overall, I don't think their demons are as good as Nurgle. From what I've heard, Nurgle and Khorne demons are like the top ones you use.
Nah, it's Slaanesh. The one thing that Slaanesh has is Slaanesh demons.
I also want to point out they're the only army that Eldar are just a hard counter to because they just get free rerolls on them.
They get free rerolls, but the thing is, Slaaneshi demons you can't declare Overwatch against them. They get to what's it called? There's a lot of they benefit a lot from close quarters combat. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, but I know a lot of people that apparently they're really not good. Like really not good.
I don't know. I've heard very like what's it called? Back and forth things about them.
I've just heard that they're just not compared to the other two. What you're getting, they're not as useful. Because cool, not being able to do Overwatch on them is one thing, but okay, they got nothing else. Meanwhile, Khorne demons, I think, still get the 2 attacks a hit. They got stupid amount of damage and melee.
No, that's what I mean. I think there's more. I just can't remember it.
I really don't think so, because I remember I was reading about this. People were basically saying Death Guard and Khorne demons are just really good, and then you get Slanesh, who doesn't really have much or anything as good as these two, because Death Guard are the Nurgle demons have disgusting resilience. They reroll ones like their parent legion. Khorne demons, shit tons of melee attacks. They can attack twice generally. Like, from what I'm seeing and heard, generally Nurgle and Khorne demons are better, from what I've seen.
Mhm.
I also think it's just a lack of models.
Yeah, no,
Although
100%. What they said from a lack of models.
I do want to point out, though, the Infernal Enrapturess is actually really cool, because her model's a little horrifying, because it's literally a dude, just some dude whose spine's been taken out to make a harp. Slanesh models are just so
Extra.
you don't know. Yeah, you don't know how to feel about them.
We're gonna be talking more about Slanesh next week and the problems that GW are having
Man.
with Slanesh.
And thank goodness I'm not the one who has to talk about her.
Yeah,
I'm
because
just
I
gonna
know
say
you.
this
I
right
know
now.
how much you don't like Slanesh.
I like the concept, but I understand. But it's uncomfortable to talk about. I'm just
Yeah.
gonna leave you off with this.
All I'm gonna
Goat-
say is next
Goat,
week.
Hold on. I'm gonna describe a model. Goat, alligator, anteater thing with 6 legs, a crab claw, a scything talon, and 4 nipples.
Yep, that's a fiend.
Yeah, I don't know why half of its nipples there, half does none. It's weird. None of Slanesh's shit makes sense. She's so weird.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. We'll talk about her next week. It's not that I'm not a fan of Slanesh. I just find it really
Uncomfortable.
Yeah, which is the point, but at the same time, they got themselves into a situation where it's like, okay, we went so overboard with this thing, we kind of fucked ourselves over.
They kind of fucked themselves over with the current day and age of stuff.
Yeah, which to be fair, Slanesh is still interesting, and apparently they do something different there in AOS. But
yeah, Slanesh is like dead in AOS.
Well, she's not dead.
Captured.
She
was
like,
captured by what's his name? She was captured by the elf gods to be able to bring the elf back because in end times, Slanesh devoured all of the elves.
So basically, what happens with Beldari? Okay.
So yeah, Eldari are just space elves.
Yeah. But yeah. So I know I've said this like 6 times, but I think this actually is the end.
Yeah, right now I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
He's just a cool boy. He is Bird Daddy.
Yeah, don't call him that ever again.
What, you don't like when I call him Bird Daddy?
No.
He's Birdman.
Next time we gotta talk about. So yeah, next week we're talking about Slanesh. Yay! And the Emperor's Children. Yay!
One of my best friend's favorite factions, just because of how batshit insane they are.
Wait, which friend? Wheat? I thought he was okay.
He loves the Noise Marines to death, but not to death.
Oh,
but
boy.
it's their favorite. It's his favorite faction so far. Again, just because of how like crazy they are.
All right, even though their abilities suck. Well, I'll rant about that next week.
Well, again, thematic, not actual game. But yeah, they're like we'll talk about them next week. I'm praying to God that by the time that next week comes by, they'll actually get some kind of rework. But I doubt it.
I don't think that's happening this week.
Yeah, that's
or next week.
Next thing we're gonna talk about them because they're actually the time that I get to talk about one of the things that I hate the most about chaos, which is just chaos negligence. Unless
we'll talk about that next week. We're not going to give too much of it. Anyway, you got anything else to add, or is that about it?
I'm pretty sure that's it. Birds.
Okay.
Birds. I think they watched The Birds by Alfred Hitchcock a bit too much and got carried away with it.
Probably, but it's fun.
Yeah.
Still cool.
They're cool.
So anyway, so this has been episode 3 of the Real Heresy Hours podcast. Thank you so much for listening. We'll probably, hopefully, be back next week for episode 4.
100%. I'm on reading week, so I'm 100% free on Thursday.
Yeah, same. So, yeah, I'll get to rant about Emperor's Children, why I hate Noise Marines so much.
And why
And
I like
Sonic
Noise Marines so
Dreadnoughts.
much.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll see you next week. My name's Locust.
My name is Void, and yeah, hope you guys have a good day.
Yeah, see ya.
Peace!